All right, everyone. Welcome to Abnormal Investigations. We have a guest on with us tonight that is going to share an encounter, possibly more. We're excited to be able to do this tonight. This is a pre record for those of you watching. This will be released as a premiere. The live chat is live, but this is a pre recording. Um, I have Amanda here that is going to be co hosting tonight. And we'll go ahead and bring her on and get her onto the show.
Hi, Mike.
How are you, Amanda?
I'm doing good. Hi, everyone out there.
Kind of weird doing a pre-recording. I'm not really used to these myself, but
Yeah, it's a little weird.
it's kind of like you're talking to yourself. Um, but I'm excited to have Joe on. It sounds like he's got some pretty good encounters.
Yeah.
We'll see what kind of questions we get for Joe. And of course, guys, please welcome Joe to the show. And it takes a lot of guts and bravery to come on and tell your story. So here's Joe, everybody.
How you guys doing?
Good.
Hey,
How you
Joe.
doing?
Oh, are you staying warm at least?
It's objectively it's not that cold where I'm working at currently.
Ah, you get to work in different places, I'm assuming.
Yeah, well, I don't want to say exactly where, but I work up in the north, and it's not really that cold right now. It's
Oh,
not -30, so it's okay.
yeah, take advantage of that.
I live in California, so
Oh, you
it's
probably
always
got,
warm.
that's what I was going to say. You probably have nice weather year round.
Yeah, we do.
That'd be nice. So, Joe, you've had some encounters throughout your life,
Yeah, I have. Uh, well, I mean, actually, I guess I'd had encounters since childhood, but I didn't realize it until I really had my first encounter in 2013.
really. So, do you want to start with your 2013? Is that is that the one you wanted to start with?
Oh yeah, I can. I mean, up until 2013, I was I guess you could say I was a non-believer. I had no interest in the paranormal. I had no interest in cryptozoology. Uh, I don't think I'd ever read a book on Sasquatch. I think the only thing that I'd seen up until that point might have been like Harry and the Hendersons.
Right.
Love
Um,
that movie.
at that point, I was just a firefighter that enjoyed hunting and fishing, and me and a police officer friend of mine were coyote hunting at night time in eastern Indiana when during a calling set we had um, an anomalous audio like response to our coyote calls. We had coyotes sound off, and then during the middle of the coyotes, something else sounded off. That the best way I can describe it is just a really large wolf, but it was much deeper and louder than a wolf, which got our attention because it shut the coyotes up. They stopped talking, and me and my partner, hunting partner, were kind of looking at each other like, "What was that?" And in about 10 minutes, we saw something on our thermal scopes that really threw us off. So um, I'm assuming at this point, just based on everything, that whatever had responded to our coyote call had come looking for us because we were calling out, obviously, to coyotes, but we called it this end. And it came basically across the cornfield, um, a cut cornfield, and it came out from, I don't know if you've been to Indiana or Illinois, Iowa. They tend to have like tree rows on the edge of cornfields or on the edge of soybean fields.
Right.
And um, it came across the field and then came through that tree row and came just out on the other edge of that tree row and stopped. And now I'm pretty sure what I was looking at was a dog man. At that point, I don't know what I was looking at. All I know that it was way too big to be a coyote. It was too big to be a wolf. It was too big to be a dog. Um, it was quadruped the entire time, but its shoulder height was comparable to like a hyena on steroids. So we didn't
Wow.
really know what we were looking at, but it freaked me and my partner out. My coyote hunting partner at that time, it freaked us both out. I mean, to the point that I've gotten into the field now. I mean, I went from being a non-believer in the field to now I've been in the pretty hardcore field work since then. Well, really since 2015. Um, he, on the other hand, wants nothing to do with the subject, still doesn't want anything to do with the subject, which I understand because I was real hesitant to even talk openly on that subject um, for a few years, primarily because of taboos within my former public safety career.
Right.
And he is a police officer, so I understand that even more so for him. So he doesn't really want anything to do with the subject. I, on the other hand, am head over heels for it now. But at
Right.
that point, we didn't know what we were looking at. All I know is it came to the edge of that field. We were in shock. It was only there for max 20, 30 seconds. It sniffed the air. It was trying to locate where we were on the other side of the field. It never stood up, and it basically turned around and went the way it came. And as
Wow.
soon as it left, we were out of there. Um, we packed up and left. Um, I was kind of in shock for a few weeks, honestly, and then slowly but surely, I just got more into the field. Initially, watching YouTube videos, uh, reading books that I'd never read before, trying to figure out what I'd seen, and then from there, I started just combining my love for the outdoors with, well, I'm gonna start looking for these things on purpose, and I've pretty much been doing that since. Well, about 2014. It took me a year to really get
Right.
into the field.
What I find interesting is, you say that it was on a cornfield, and where I investigate, and I've been getting a lot of my encounters, is actually right off of a cornfield that has the tree lines like you were talking about, and it also butts up to the lake. So that's pretty interesting. I've
Yeah, I
noticed.
mean, later in life, I've noticed that cornfields with the corn that's standing can be extremely active. Um, Obviously, the field that I had my first encounter was cut corn because the coyote season's in the colder months. But
So when you heard that howl, because I've heard that happen before, also with the coyotes. Whenever, like, I'll be out and I'll do some calls or whatever, and then you'll hear the coyotes. The coyotes will all get active, but then there's that one sound, man. You're just like, that's not a coyote. You know what I mean? How you just and
yeah,
it's like whenever it sounds off, like you were talking about, it's almost like it upsets all the other coyotes, and then for just a little while, all around you, everything is just like crazy.
yeah. Well, it stopped the coyotes that were sounding off. I mean, we've been hunting that area for a while, so that family group that it stopped, I can't be for sure, but I'm pretty sure the family group because we've been chasing that group for years. Um, there was probably four or five of those, and it shut them up in their tracks, like they stopped. And yes, when you hear it, you can't. you can't miss it. I mean, you unless you have no experience whatsoever. Even if you had no experience, it's so unique. I would think it would stop you in your tracks.
You can't unhear it once you hear it.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree because you know exactly what Amanda just said. The first time I heard that, I don't know, it was kind of like it's that deep howl, but it's also kind of like a scream at the same time. It's like you're just like, what in the world is that? You just stop, and you just kind of like, that's not supposed to be out here.
Yeah.
Or you, it's so weird.
It's very unique because I mean I don't know about you, but I've heard various uh, animals, predators. You know, bobcat uh, tend to get on social media quite a bit because people don't understand what they are when they hear them in the woods. And fox will do the same thing. People put them on TikTok quite a bit because they didn't understand what they were doing, the noise they were making.
Yeah.
Um, but none of those are what Dogman sounds like. Dogman sounds the best way I can describe him is it's like a wolf, but it's just a wolf, a big wolf. I mean, it's way deeper than a wolf, louder than a wolf.
It's more amplified.
Yeah, which makes sense considering their size.
Yeah.
So what you seen was way bigger than a wolf too, right? It was.
Yeah, yeah. So when we were looking at it, um, my hunting buddy at the time and I were talking very quietly to each other, and he's like, "That's not a wolf," and I'm like, "No, that's too big." And I mean, wolves can get pretty big, especially Canadian wolves. But I've never seen a wolf with a shoulder height of above 5 feet.
Yeah.
Oh
That's
wow,
huge.
So
wow. Did
I
it
mean, and then that's an estimate, but its shoulder height was large.
did it run through either one of your minds to put it down?
No,
No.
No.
no. The weapons that we were using at that time were not likely gonna be very effective.
Wow.
So
So what
neither
you
one of
saw,
us. Go ahead.
it had a mass, right? This thing was like not just tall, it was thick.
Yeah, they're big. The one that I saw at that point was pushing a couple 100 pounds
Oh
easy,
wow.
and later on I've seen them, and it makes sense now. But at that point, I didn't really understand what I was looking at. But a couple 100 pounds easy, and 3, 4 feet at the shoulder, across. Well, about 3 feet across, and then like I said, up to 5 feet at the shoulder, at the height. So
So you're looking at a massive creature, dude.
yeah.
Wow. So I have to ask, did it have any human attributes to it or anything, characteristics to it?
No, to the way, looking back on it, and me and him talked about it that night, driving back to his house. Um, it looked like a wolf. It's just bigger. Its ears were bigger. Its proportions were all just bigger. Um, Now, I think what I was looking at, it depends on the internet. The internet's got all kinds of names and terms, but
Right.
True.
uh, Soldier Dogman has got the best description for what I was looking at, or Wolf Dogman, or Gray Wolf Dogman. Um, just a very wolf-like face, very wolf-like body shape, long tail, tall ears, and Not really anything human about it.
Just massive, huh?
Yeah.
Man, I can I understand because I'm like you, man. I hunt a lot. I go out in the woods a lot. I fish a lot, and you know, one of the things that I fear going out is a large predator. But when I think predator, though, I don't think a dog man or something that big. And from what you're saying, the rifles that you all were carrying were like, no, this isn't going to do it.
Yeah. I mean, we were using, which we is normal for us, 5.56. That's
Right.
22 caliber rounds. It's
Yeah.
not. That's designed to shoot a coyote. Uh, I mean, a regular wolf technically you could probably shoot with it, but you'd have to
Shoot
take a
it a
clean
lot.
take a clean shot. I'm not saying we couldn't hurt with this thing, but at that
But
point,
you
that
guys
wasn't really going through our mind. It was more like
get out of there.
shock. Yeah,
And would the rifle stop it fast enough? Right.
yeah.
Wow. So, do you think it was running with that pack of coyotes? Is that what you think it was doing? Or do you think you called it up?
I don't know. Honestly, to this day, I don't know. The way those coyotes shut up, I lean towards it wasn't with them because they seemed as surprised to hear it, as we were. So if they were with it, I would just guessing on coyote behavior. They wouldn't have shut up the way they did. They would have continued howling with it.
Right.
Um,
True.
they the way they stopped communicating as soon as it started howling. I'm just guessing here, but they were as surprised to hear it as we were.
So the coyotes pretty much recognized it as the alpha in the area for sure, huh?
Yeah. And
Wow.
later, I mean, later on, years down the line, I've come to, I don't know, conclusions, but there's theories of, coyotes might run with some Dogman and Sasquatch. I'm not saying they don't. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I mean, I've had instances where I was wondering whether or not I had uh, some stray dogs that were potentially hanging out with a unknown entity in an area that I was looking into. But I just found it funny that every time I'd see those stray dogs, I'd then see it. I'd run into the thing that I was looking for.
Wow.
But on the same hand, there's been time in the woods later on that I've heard um, what sounded like coyotes being killed. So I don't know. It's probably a case by case basis.
Man, I'm glad you brought that up because Amanda, I think, was watching the show. I was out one night doing an investigation, dude, and the most horrible, like a coyote, it sounded like was being shredded. And I'd never heard that before in my life. I've heard them fight each other and stuff like that, but this was being like totally destroyed. And whatever had it, you could hear it moving through the trees with this coyote. And most of the people even said, wow, I think it just found dinner. I mean, it was a very disturbing,
Yeah.
it was bad. It was pretty bad.
It was very
So,
bad.
oh,
I don't
it,
know
it,
about.
it was
Go ahead.
wild.
Yeah, I
Oh,
don't know about you, but I really don't like hearing the the canine distress uh, whine scream. It's just it's
Yeah.
very
right.
very puppyish like. And I guess it reminds me of a puppy. I just don't like hearing it.
Me neither.
It really bothered me that night. It was terrible, and I could tell that coyote was definitely. I mean, you could just
Getting
tell
torn
it.
apart.
Yeah, it did not survive that encounter. Uh, Have you ever been able to see any of their tracks or anything, Joe?
Yeah. Um, later on down the road, I've seen tracks. Um, I've seen tracks of what I would uh, consider to be Dogman, and what I would consider to be Sasquatch, or like the Sasquatch variant. Um,
So you've seen tracks of both of them?
yeah,
Oh,
How would you describe the Dogman track? What do they?
they are to me. I keep on relating back to wolves because they're very wolf-like. It's just bigger. The tracks are bigger. Um,
so it looks
that
like a big dog.
yeah, to me it does. That's what I think it is. I mean, that's the best way I can describe them.
What about the Bigfoot one?
Well, Bigfoot, the tracks that me and so I got someone I do a lot of research with now.
Uh-huh.
Um, the ones that we've cast and taken pictures of, etc. Uh, it depends on the one, but to me they look almost human, but they're not because they're too big to be human.
Yeah.
It's the best way I can describe it.
Have you ever seen any, like, on the end of any of the footprints you've seen? Have you ever seen like a hook? Has any of them ever had a hook?
Uh, I wouldn't say that I've seen a hook on the end of the tracks, not the Dogman tracks. No, they have their claw marks are on the front, though for sure.
The reason I was asking is I was just recently done an investigation on the Palmyra, Maine incident, and then I've been looking at some other ones, the Stubbe incident, and I noticed that both of those encounters, one being 16th century, and then the other one I think was 2015 in Palmyra, Maine. One of the characteristics I noticed that both of those stories had similarities in is they said that they had a hook in the end of their print, and I thought that was
Yeah,
pretty interesting.
I unfortunately I can't attest to seeing a hook in the prints for the Dogman that I've dealt with, but I've also come to the conclusion that um, we have a pretty narrow, most likely a very narrow understanding of what the broader picture really is. There's there's more than just one species, and there's probably multiple variants of that species.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Also, I mean, the thing that's throwing me off recently, one of the questions, I mean, I'm jumping way ahead now, but this is like getting into the fact that I've been doing research since pretty hardcore since 2014. So, um, one of the things that really was boggling my mind for a while, and like I said, I'm jumping way ahead right now because
Okay.
this is going from basic theory into advanced discussions like real quick. But um, I don't know about you, but the longer I've been doing the field work, the more I ran into parts of the equation that some people would call paranormal, others would call the woo, others um, non-biological is a term that I heard someone say that fits real well. Um, but that threw me off because I was questioning, well, why would something that potentially has the ability to do certain things that it may have the ability to do, why would it also be displaying biological traits, biological and non-biological traits at the same time? But then somebody that has more experience than me kind of sat me down and said, well, why couldn't it? I mean, humans there's humans that may have the ability to do certain things that some would consider paranormal. That doesn't mean they also don't live like a human while uh, they're here
Right.
on Earth.
True.
You know, that's a real good question that you bring up too, because I know that, man, I've asked that question a lot too. I found while investigating that they estimate that approximately 25% of the people that have a cryptid encounter will experience a supernatural encounter. Um, I based a lot of my theories on biblical principle.
Yeah.
Um, I'm a believer that they carry the at least the lineage or the DNA of the Nephilim. I've learned a lot going back, investigating it. You know, a lot of people do call them the Nephilim, but I also found that when you go back, there was what they call the Eliod, and the Eliod was actually a descendant of the Nephilim, which would just be the watered down DNA. It's essentially the same thing. So,
Yep.
you know, my thoughts were, just my theory is, if they in fact come from the fallen angels, then they would have to, I would think, still have some of those attributes or abilities to be able to, like what you said, defy, you know, the common laws that we see as normal
Normal.
behavior, right? So um I had a theory also, you know, we talk about, you know, the sound waves, right? How they can go higher and lower than what we can hear. And another thing that I came up with, just a theory, was, you know, they said that Lucifer had, you know, instruments inside of his body. And if we take the instruments as a metaphor and we say that the instruments were actually the vocal cords, and if all these fallen angels and angels have this ability through their vocal cords, and we know that music is a very profound thing in the supernatural spirit world, that maybe that's how these creatures are able to do that. I definitely believe that the Bigfoot, the Dogman, the other creatures, I do believe are physical. I believe that they need food, water, shelter, you know, the essentials. But I also have a theory that they also interact with the supernatural still to this day, because they're still that lineage. They still have that connection because they both are like in the same family tree. And that's just kind of my theory. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I agree. I mean, we're getting way ahead of here. Uh, we went from 0 to 100 real quick.
We're quarter mile in it.
Yeah. Because we're going from my initial encounter to stuff that
So,
I've been really discussing and looking into in the last 3 years. So it took me, over a decade to get to this point. But um, I agree. I think that there is some type of relation between the fallen angels and the and cryptids. What that relation is, I don't know.
right,
Um, I know. So here, I mean, here's the thing. I went from being someone that had no interest in the subject, could care less about the subject, did not have any beliefs in paranormal, to now I'm an individual that not only believes in cryptids, but I wholeheartedly have had to I've had to have a entire worldview outlook shift. Like I had to
right,
it made me do a lot of inner work on myself to get to this point because I
You
fought
had
it
a
for a long time.
transformation.
I did not want to believe in the paranormal for a long time. I did not want to believe in
right,
it took me a long time to break my societal programming. Because that's what I think it is. You get raised from a child to believe certain things, and then Uh, it takes you a minute to get past that. It took me a minute to get past that. But what do I think they are? Yeah, I think they are related to fallen angels. I think that the field research has pushed me into, I don't know about what you've been studying, but I study the the Apocrypha and other books that were removed from the Bible. And my question is, why were they removed from the Bible? And I don't accept the standard answers of why. I think that they were really removed because certain powers that be do not want broader society to know certain things.
Yep.
Um,
Knowledge is power. I mean, the
yeah,
dumber they keep us, the easier we are to control, right?
I
yeah.
agree with that 100%.
I mean, I'm to the point now where, yes, I think Sasquatch, Dogman, and other cryptids are related in some form or fashion to fallen angels, but I'm also at the point where I'm questioning what aliens are. Are aliens really aliens? Or are aliens spiritual? And
Right.
uh, is it more interdimensional than it is intergalactic? And can interdimensionality and intergalactic be interrelated? Um, uh,
Yeah, I think so.
questioning. I've been questioning, the study of time and space, uh, fractal theory, interdimensional theory. Uh, that's the thing. This field. Well, if you stay in it long enough, like you said, you go from zero. We went from 0 to 100 because now we're talking about some really advanced, deep crap.
Right. Right. What we'll do is, and I'm sure the audience is going to want to know this too, is we'll go back. We will slow it down. We'll drop the RPMs. So, what in your experience, what was your scariest encounter? What is the one that really made you feel uneasy? Was it the 2013 one, or has there been any
Uh,
since then that have really just made you say, "Oh my God"?
2013 really wasn't scary. I thought it was scary at that point, but looking back on it, it wasn't really that scary. It was just shocking. Um, I've had encounters since then that were scary. And like the encounter I'm going to talk about is a pinnacle encounter that pushed me really deep, really fast into opening my mind about the potential of them having abilities that I thought couldn't even exist before that. So, anyways, man, uh, so that initial encounter was 2013. I ran around in Indiana for 2 years. Uh, I moved to the coast in 2015 and Alabama, coastal Alabama. And at that point, I joined a well known Bigfoot organization because they had a very good database at that point that I wanted to utilize for field work. And I utilized that database to interview witnesses. And then interviewing those witnesses would lead me down uh, finding areas to look further. And, anyways, I interviewed a witness. Um, they had rocks thrown at them in an area, and me and that guy actually became friends. So, me and that gentleman and two other gentlemen were walking down a road at nighttime in an area that he had rocks thrown at him. And out of the corner of my eye, I saw basically what the best thing I can describe is a black shape. That's the best way I can describe it, like a black humanoid shape. Like, um, I don't know how much you know about the Deep South, but they tend to have in the certain areas the you have the roadway, and then you have a brush area, and then you have pine plantations on each side of the road. And on this particular road, there was like an embankment on the edge of the pine plantation, and it looked like a uh, dark black human shape was standing on the top of that embankment. Um, and the best way to describe it is it was darker than dark. Like the woods were black, the woods were dark, but it was darker than the woods. That's how I saw it. Um, so we briefly looked away. I looked back, the shape was gone. Um, and then at that point, we kind of got freaked out, and we ran down the road a little bit, and then I decided I wanted to figure out what was going on, so I stopped and walked back towards the initial area, and I ended up walking up on this creature, what I think is now a Sasquatch, a juvenile Sasquatch. It was spider crawling in the grass, because I walked up on it at probably about 5 feet from the edge of the road, and it was froze in the grass, belly against the grass. Um, the reason I'm telling you this isn't really the part that scared me, but this led up to it. I mean, it freaked me out. I ran. As soon as I ran, my buddies were wondering why I ran, so they all ran. Um, and then, anyways, we left, went down the road, then once again, my adrenaline calmed down, and we went back, proceeded to take a whole bunch of like comparable photos, looking for pareidolia, trying to figure out what we had seen. The grass was matted down, the brush was matted down in the area that I'd seen, what I thought I'd seen. Um, we went back during the day, the next day, and we never could figure out anything that was explainable, that could explain away what we had seen. So it's probably like a week later. Me and my partner, went back to this area, and this is when I really got something happened that scared me. So we were on the incident where that had happened. There's a T in the road, and we were coming down the entrance road to this area and approaching that T. And as we approached that T, I don't know about you, but um, I've become way more in tune with my instincts the longer I've been doing this. And something in my gut was just telling me that something was wrong, that uh, something was off. And then that proceeded to turn into, the best way I can describe it, it was like a sense of dread. Uh, and then we had stopped, and I was telling my partner that, something's wrong. I can't figure out what it is, but something's watching us. And then that feeling turned into, um, I went from a sense of dread to what I think now might have been mind speak, but basically, I started having thoughts, not like hearing voices, just like thoughts of, I'm going to kill you. I can kill you. I want to kill you. Or like the dread was no longer just dread, it was like actual thoughts of impending doom. Is the best way I can describe that. It was like, I'm going to kill you. And I was telling my partner, something's wrong. And um, I could tell something was around the car. And I was getting so freaked out at this point that I was like petrified to the point where I was afraid to look around. Like I was staring out the front window in the passenger seat, talking to my partner in the driver's seat as I'm basically frozen in fear. It's the most fear I'd probably felt ever in my life to that point, paralyzing fear. And um, during that, I said something is here next to the car. I can tell it's here. And my partner at that point said, "Yeah, he's right there." And I said some choice words, asking him what do you mean, and he's like, "He is in the window right next to you." Um, so I didn't really turn my head. I kind of just looked with the peripheral, like I turned my eyes to the right, and all I saw was like a black shape of a head in the bottom right hand corner of the window. And I was already in a state that I'd never been in before of fear. And honestly, that shape was all it took for me to close my eyes. Like I shut my eyes. And those thoughts, though, kept on getting worse of I'm going to kill you. And I started telling my partner, I was like, I don't watch what language I use, but I was like, he's mad. It's mad. That's not really what I said, but that's
Right.
the language I'll use now. And my partner said, "Tell him sorry." And I asked him, "What the heck are you talking about?" And he said, "Just do it." So I started saying sorry. I literally said sorry out loud, like I was begging for my life, kind of sorry. Um, and it worked. That feeling gradually went away. That feeling of I'm gonna kill you and the dread and the darkness and the because that's the best way I can describe it is it's it's an overwhelming sense of darkness mixed with dread, mixed with fear, plus the thoughts of I'm gonna kill you all mixed together. Um, which since then I've had more experiences, but at that point I'd never experienced that. And but that started going away as soon as I started saying sorry. Gradually it went away.
Wow.
Asked my partner if it was gone. I opened my eyes. He said yes. I looked in the mirror. It wasn't gone. It was back by the back right bumper of the car, which I told my partner at that point, go, leave. And he just basically like let off the brake and we started rolling forward. Um, but that, through further investigations, was a juvenile Sasquatch that I've dealt with previously. I mean, since then. And the best guess is when I walked up and on the grass, I had pissed it off. And if I'm, it's a conclusion, but it, based on that encounter, whatever was next to that window was mad at me. And I couldn't figure out why else would they be mad? Why would a Sasquatch be mad at me? Why would a Sasquatch on the other side of that window want to kill me? I'd not done anything other than walked up on what I thought was a Sasquatch a couple days previous. I mean, I don't go in the woods shooting at things. I don't go in the woods. Um, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty strict about not destroying certain things that you find in the woods.
Yes.
Yeah, same way.
Yep,
Uh,
me too.
so the reason I say that is I had not done anything other than potentially walked up on that one Sasquatch
So you
for
felt like you had been, respectful up until that point.
yeah, I thought that I had done everything I could to be respectful until that point, and I had no reason that I could think of why this was happening. Looking back on it, why it happened.
You said it was a juvenile that you walked up on, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they were upset with you.
Well, I don't know. When I say juvenile, I mean more like a teenager because it was still pretty big.
Yeah.
I think it was a century. I mean,
Oh.
we're going a million miles down the road again. But um, this, I wouldn't say it's my theory. It's more of my partner's theory, which is associated with other gentlemen that you probably know of from the field. But um, they have theories that Sasquatch clans, which I can't argue with, they their clan structure. They may have centuries
Uh-huh.
that um, operate on the exterior of the clan,
Yeah.
and maybe the younger members of the clan that are doing that. Um, Also, based on those same people's theories, because I'm not wanting to take credit for these theories. I'm just saying I'm utilizing their theories to try to make sense of what happened.
Right.
Um, Me walking up on that potential Sasquatch in the grass was like a dishonor to that individual. I caught it. I wasn't supposed to have seen it. I wasn't supposed to have walked up on it. It was trying to sneak up on us, and I caught it in the grass. Um, some guys would say that younger individual was trying to count coup, like it was using that as an opportunity to test its um,
Capabilities.
capabilities of getting close to humans without humans seeing it, and I caught it in the grass. So it had a beef with me.
So kind of like you may have even embarrassed it maybe to the others that it was trying to
Yeah,
show,
Yeah.
show that it was able to sneak up on you or hunt you or stalk you, and it got caught, and it was like, damn.
yeah.
Yeah. I was embarrassed.
But see, I
So
mean, that I can't prove that though. That's just all based on the experience. That's all theoretical though. That's the other thing about this field. I don't know about you, but I get frustrated because I'm at the point where I wish I could walk up to him and just talk to him.
yeah,
Yeah. Me
I,
too.
I understand. I was an investigator, and as an investigator, we was taught, to deal with physical evidence, tangible evidence, and in this field, it is hard to investigate because we have to go with speculation a lot, and we have to theorize a lot, and it leaves the door open for so many different theories and ideas, and
Yeah.
I'm open to so much of it. I'm open to it. Like, what did the head look like looking in your window? Was it humanish looking? Could you tell if it had a snout or ears or?
The best way to describe it is like a human, which later I found. I don't know about you, but on the Gulf Coast, a lot of the Sasquatch are not what is described a lot in social media of really big. I mean, they're big, but they're
Right.
not huge. They're more. The best way I can describe them is they're not an offensive lineman. They're a linebacker or a cornerback. They're cut and they're built, but they're not as massive as what you would think of a Sasquatch from social media.
I
Um,
agree with you 100%, dude. Everything I have seen has not been this huge creature. Everything I've seen could easily be explained, I think, by a normal person as a very large man. I haven't seen anything that I would call a giant. Yeah, they're
yeah,
big, they're thick, but they're not superhuman big. I mean, I could still see somebody saying that was a really big man. You know what I mean?
yeah. I mean, this one it had a human shape head. No, I didn't see its facial features very well because I truly only glanced out of the right corner of my eye and then I shut my eyes. Um, but its outline is human like.
Wow.
I think they're
Uh,
bigger here in California.
I can't disagree with you. And that's the other thing. The anomalous part about it is there are bigger ones down south
Yeah.
but I am almost to the point where that's why I theorize there's different variants of them, for one, and two, unless it's the maybe like the clan alpha, uh, it takes them a while to get that big,
Yeah.
and not all of them reach that size. Um,
I can share a theory with you. It was told to me by a native shaman. Um, I was investigating a case, and I had the opportunity to speak with the shaman, and what they told me was they're all the same thing, but they're different. And the way he explained it to me was picture it as a canine, as a dog. Some dogs are Great Danes, some are Dobermans, some are little rat terriers. Some of them
Chihuahua.
have tails. Yeah, some don't have tails. It just depends on the breed of one. They said they're all the same, but they're different colors, different sizes, different, attitudes, and that's kind of how they looked at it.
yeah,
That makes sense. Just like
and
us.
to me it makes sense, um,
Me too.
because the longer I've been in this field, I hear people all the time say that uh, they're dangerous or they're not dangerous, or
Yeah.
uh, they'll kill you or they won't kill you. I don't think it's as simple as that. I think it truly comes down to um, an
Your
individual.
intentions.
Yeah, your intentions and the personality of the individual you're dealing with.
Right.
Some might be more dangerous than others, and that's the other part that I've come to is that I'm almost to the point where I theorize that yes, they may have relations to uh, the fallen angels, but I think at this point, based on what I've seen of their behavior, uh, Dogman and Sasquatch and the rest, is that some are of the darkness and some aren't. Like they may, I don't know, it's going to sound weird, but it's as if some have chosen to be more peaceful, to be more um,
Right.
not as aggressive,
Yeah.
while others that I've run into, I have no doubt that if they had the opportunity, they would kill you.
You know, it makes sense to me you say that too, because we even know back in biblical times that the Nephilim, they wanted to be forgiven. Some of them wanted to be redeemed, and that would tell me that hey, they're not all bad, right? So if they want to be redeemable, then you wouldn't inherently be evil. They wasn't given that opportunity. He said that none of them would be redeemed, but I don't think it means that they're all bad. A lot of people even say that they believe that they're opportunists. If you go to the woods, they're smart, they're intelligent, especially if they do come from the fallen. That they would be very intelligent. They would know, hey, if I go out here and I hurt this man, they're going to know that we done this, and they're going to come looking for us. But if a guy goes out there and breaks his leg or something and then becomes an opportunity, well, maybe he drowned,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Well, I've theorized that the ones that are dangerous, the ones that, like I said, they'll kill you if you give them the opportunity. Um, they are intelligent, and when I mean intelligent to the point where they will kill you, but they're only going to kill you in a manner, in a situation in which they think that they can get away with it,
Yeah.
uh, where it
Yeah,
can
exactly.
be explained away as
You fell
not
down a cliff.
them. Yeah. If you can disappear without a trace and it not come back on them, you might disappear without a trace.
Yeah.
The 411, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Yes.
you know, there's so many questions. I mean, we could spend another hour on that I've always had on that, but it's just, yeah, I think that they're opportunists. I try to treat them like this. This is how I treat them. I treat them as I would any wild animal. I don't trust them. I don't pressure them, and I don't corner them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I treat them like wild animals or humans. I
Right.
either or. Uh, I don't corner them, and I don't trust them. I do not try to give them the opportunity to
Hurt you?
hurt me without ramifications.
Right.
Yeah.
Um, but the whole reason that I came forward and started talking about the subject openly is, for years I was doing this behind the scenes, and it was purely for me. I had no intentions of talking to anyone about this subject matter other than a very small select group of fellow field researchers. I had no interest in talking to the broader public about this subject, and the reason I came forward and started talking about it is the the everything I've experienced points towards a society seems more open to receive the information now. That's one reason that I've come forward. But B, I think people need to hear it. More and more people need to come forward and feel comfortable talking about it, because I don't know about you, but to me, I've noticed the amount of activity has gone up, not gone down.
Yep.
And based on how things are going in the world, I don't think it's gonna go down. I think it's only gonna get worse. So I feel like I have to come forward and uh, do I expect 90% of the people to hear me and not listen? Yeah. Uh, that's another reason I don't really like talking about the subject outside the core group of field researchers, because of the amount of um,
Hatred?
hatred you get. Um,
Yeah.
The
the one person really, and I've got to credit her right now for um, getting me more open to talking, is I was watching D with D's Darkness,
uh-huh.
and
We love D.
Yeah, she's a good friend of mine.
watching her online, I'm like, she's seeing the same stuff I'm seeing and experiencing the same stuff I'm experiencing, but she's talking about it openly. So I, decided that just go for it. That's why I'm coming forward now. Is just more
Uh,
people need to talk about it openly.
Yep.
and the more you do, the more you'll be attacked. Unfortunately, but I mean,
But at
I
least
look
get
at
your
it
truth out.
right. I mean, I look at it as, hey, I know what I seen. Right. I mean, people can argue all they want. I was there. They wasn't there. I know what I seen. I know what I went through. You know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, I understand why it's so hard for people, though. I mean,
Oh
you,
yeah.
you, you, unless you've seen a cryptid, unless you've had a paranormal experience yourself, it's extremely hard for you to understand or believe in it because of years of societal programming. And also, let's be honest, it's extremely hard for someone to get past their ego and uh, admit that their worldview may have been wrong and that they have to completely change their worldview.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Because we're told as adults that those aren't supposed to exist. You know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know about you, but I, like regarding spiritual matters, until I got into this field, I wasn't really into demons and angels and this. I mean, I went to church, but I didn't really know what to think about all of it. Now, because of this field, I wholeheartedly think it's real.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
The paranormal.
if any,
paranormal, the spiritual world,
Yes.
uh,
if
everything
if
that's in the Bible. I mean,
it's
it,
like this, it's like this proves it's right, right? It's like the Bible said it, but when you experience it in the physical, you're like, wow,
yeah.
it's there, you know.
Well, I mean, I had a no, awakening, I guess, when I heard a gentleman talk about the Bible is um, written in, oh, what was the word he used? There was a word for it, but basically, it wasn't meant to be straightforward because the Bible was written in
Oh,
like
parables.
metaphors
Uh
and
huh.
parables, and you have to be able to decipher what they're trying to say because it's actually much deeper than what it's written as. And when I heard him say that, I was like, wait a second. Now a lot of the Bible makes more sense.
Right.
But no, this field for me completely, it changed my entire outlook on life. I mean, from the ground up,
Right.
slowly
Me
but
too.
surely.
So are you going to continue investigating? Is that your plan?
Yeah, absolutely. I,
Is it?
go ahead.
I was just going to say, how can people find your channel, man?
I go by interdimensional wisdom on TikTok and YouTube.
Okay.
I'm still, I'm not gonna lie, I'm still very camera shy. I'm still very, I'm more reclusive than I probably should be. But it's just, I'm so used to being in the dark. It's hard for me to come into the light when it
Right.
comes to this subject. Um,
I'm
I'm
camera shy
very,
too.
I'm very comfortable talking to other researchers. I'm very comfortable talking to other experiencers.
Yeah.
But it's taken me a while to get used to talking to the broader public.
Right. Joe, if you and your team ever want to come on and visit with us or talk more, man, you're welcome to come back.
I'll
I re-
definitely, I'll have to talk to them and see what they think. My main partner, he's even more uh, shy than me, so
uh-huh.
I don't know what he will say about that. But I would be more than willing to come back on, and um, really, I'd like to join you in the field sometime. And it's not even for filming. It's just I'd like to join in the field sometime because I'm always looking
Right.
for other researchers.
Hey, you've got an open invitation here. I really enjoyed you. I've had you a little over an hour. I know you don't feel well tonight, and
No, as
I
soon
know
as
you
we get
probably
off
won't.
here, I'm going to sleep.
I don't blame you. Hey, but yeah, keep in touch. I'd love to have you back. Keep us updated on your investigations, man. And like I said, you're always welcome to come back. Do you have any questions, Amanda, that you wanted to get in or anything before?
No, I just wanted to say it was great meeting you, Joe.
Yeah, it was great talking to you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Joe, keep in touch. Everybody, go check out Joe, interdimensional
Wisdom.
wisdom. He's got some good things going on. I think he's going to find some good things, and definitely that crawling in the grass. That'll get my attention every time. I don't like to be crawled at for sure.
Yeah, spider crawling.
Yeah,
That's.
that's scary.
But
I can't.
I don't know how many times you've seen them do that, but it
One
spooks
time.
me every time.
Yep.
I think I've seen it once for sure, maybe twice. But
Oof.
how in the heck are they propelling themselves essentially on their fingers?
That's
That's
crazy.
my question.
That's like that one finger death punch, right? You don't want one from one of them.
Oh yeah, it was great talking to you guys, and
Joe, anytime, man. You're welcome back anytime.
I just really, I don't know about you, but I think things are changing in this world. So the
Yep.
more people like you, me, and D, etc., can come forward and uh, discuss the subject openly, I think it's better for everyone.
Yep.
I
I
agree.
agree.
The more we can sit and talk and share ideas, I think that's the most important thing.
Yep.
Well, guys, I appreciate you having me on, and yes, I am about to go to sleep.
All right, Joe.
Good.
Thank you for being
Good
here,
night,
man.
Joe.
I hope you get to feeling better, and God bless, man. You take care.
You too. You guys have
All
a good
right.
night.
You too. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
So, Amanda, what do you think about that? That kind of, a few of those encounters really got my blood to going there for a minute.
Me too. That was a great, great interview.
So, I got a question for you before we get off here. Are
Yeah.
you a? I know that you're interested in. Have you had an encounter?
Yes, I had an
Oh,
encounter when I was 10 years old.
really?
Yeah, I came on your show and told you my encounter, silly.
So, but is it like one to where did it change your life?
I was so young that I didn't realize what it really was until I was older. And so,
Right.
no, it didn't change my life. But once I realized what it was as I got older and realized it, it's been a big part of why now I am obsessed with Bigfoot.
So are you still looking for that encounter as
Yes.
an adult to have that? There
Yep.
you are,
Yes. Yes. Every time I'm in the woods.
So you haven't had one reveal itself to you as an
No,
adult, right?
no, not as an adult. But as a kid, it was a face to face.
So after that happened as a kid, do you feel like they remained interested in you? Do you feel like that
I
caused
think
a connection?
I think so, because I've had signs here and there of weird things just like out in the woods and stuff, like little signs or sounds or stuff like that. I've just never had another sighting.
I think you will eventually. I think that they're probably still interested in you, but you be careful while you're out there for sure, because
Oh
I
yeah,
don't
I
trust them.
never go alone. I never go alone.
That's a good thing. So
Yeah.
you want to go ahead and give your opinion of the show or anything you'd like to state or summary or anything before we end this recording?
I don't have a summary, but it was a great, great interview. He had a lot of knowledge and it seemed all good to me.
I thought it was very interesting too. I look forward to having him back.
And I want to say good night to everyone in chat, all the
Yep.
abnormals.
Yep, all of our abnormals. We're so glad to have you all supporting us. I'm going to release this. I think Tuesday is when I'm going to release it.
Okay.
So Tuesday night at 8:00, Amanda will release it. To everybody else in chat, you already know now. You've already seen it. Thank you all for being here. We appreciate your support. God bless you guys. Thank you for everything you do. And as always, thank Joe in the chat. Thank you for being here tonight, Joe. We really appreciate that. Everybody give him a round of applause. And with that being said, guys, keep your head on a swivel. Don't be something's dinner. And we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.